Hello all, welcome to Learn Code Clojure videos. So in this video, we are going to look what metadata are. So if you have read my book before, in order to define a private function, we can either use this define followed by a minus sign and put the function name and then just define the function. By this way, like the function won't be accessible from other namespaces and it will be accessible only from the namespaces where it's been defined. So that's how we can do. Or I would have told like, okay, there is a thing called metadata where we can use this define, put a caret sign and then a keyword over here. We have just put a keyword called private. This signals the Clojure compiler or whatever interpreter, whatever do you call, and it tells it like this is a private function, right? In fact, I think like internally like this define -2 does, in fact, like does this internally. So I'm not sure, but yeah, that's how it is. So over here to a definition, you're attaching something. This is a flag. Over here, private is being made true, and this thing is called as metadata. So of course, like a definition will contain some data, right? So if you are defining a variable or whatever it is, like it will contain some data. But if you are passing data about the definition, it's called as metadata, right? So this setting this private is almost like, okay, what to say, like it's just putting like it is almost same as like, okay, like putting like, okay, like private true. So this is exactly the same, and instead of just putting like what to say, like a caret and then keyword private, you could use what to say, uh, caret and what to say, like private true, and both are same, right? So that's how it is. So anyway, let's dive further. Anyway, this section is not about functions, but of course you can attach metadata to functions too, right? Okay. So let me just okay, like explain to you about this code. Okay. So here you have a variable called somewhere with meta. Right? So and it just executes perfectly. And if you want to see like what this variable, what value this variable has, okay, like okay, sorry. So it still has 7, right? So metadata doesn't do anything with the normal Clojure execution flow. You're just giving an extra bit of data about the definitions, whatever thing you define. That's it. Okay, so but then like if you want to, okay, like let's say like okay, like let's have another variable without any metadata. So like this one, right? And now let's compare the equality, right? So they are equal, okay, because both have the value 7, right? So they both are equal, but if you query the meta of, okay, like somewhere with meta, okay, yeah, not this one, like, yeah, this should be avoided, right? So this should be avoided. Let me tell you why so. Okay, like you need to put a reader macro here. So I think it is hash followed by apostrophe and somewhere with meta, right? And yeah, you just get this boot root. So that's what you have set over here. So okay, so how to remember this? How I remember is okay, maybe I'll just put an X, like what to say, I'll just put a diagram and explain, right? Okay, so right, okay, so you have this stuff like okay, like somewhere with meta. So this points to what to say, a value of 7, right? So that's how it is. So this points to, right? So let me just Yeah, oops, put an arrow from here to here, right? So this points to 7, right? We make this into some colors, right? Okay, right? So if you're, okay, so this somewhere with meta just returns 7, right? So if you just put meta over here and then somewhere with meta over here, right? So it just means that this just gets substituted like, okay, like meta of 7, right? So it just gets substituted like this, and there is nothing attached to 7, like there is no, what to say, like uh, metadata attached with 7, so it just gives nil, right? So that's how it is, right? But, right, okay, like but okay, if you put like, okay, like meta, then yeah, let me just copy this. Let me just copy this. Okay, put it like this. Okay, like okay, of course you have attached the metadata over here. So let me just put it like this one. You have just attached the metadata over here, and the metadata is nothing but um do, and it's true, right? Okay, right. But if you just put if you just put a reader macro like this one, I don't know what they really call this reader macro. Okay, I just call it reader macro. But there are a lot of reader macros in Clojure, right? So maybe I need to write something about it, right? So if you just put something like this, so let me just verify. Yeah, you're just putting what to say, like this hash and followed by apostrophe, right? So that's what you're just putting. This means this entire entity, right? This entire entity you have, right? So let me just put it in blue, right? Yeah. So this means, okay, let me just take this out and let me just put this in blue too, right? So this means this entire entity, and yeah, I'll just copy this, put it over here, and change this one to this one. Right? So I think now the color coding is okay, right? Okay, so this means this entire entity which I've just circled. So over here, this has meta over here, right? So this meta extracts this one and shows it, right? So that's how you need to remember it, right? So yeah. Um, right. Okay. So right. Okay. So now it's not like just you can only set like just one meta variable or something like that. You can meta variable is just, sorry, metadata is just a map. Okay, right. So let me just copy this and execute this. Okay, so like I just have a variable or definition called lots of meta, and it's been assigned to 42. But over here, like meta is just a map. Like so, you can just put anything, like any key and any value. So here I've just put a lot of values like A is 1, B is 2, and C is 3, and yeah, like and let me just execute this, right? And then yeah, I'll just put like, okay, like meta. You're not worried about the value, you're worried about this entire stuff. So you just put like hash apostrophe and lots of meta, right? And you just get it. So if you just see Clojure itself, right, has assigned what to say, like other metadata to what to say, this one and all those things, and maybe yeah, it has even assigned meta data to even this one. Like let us just try out, like, okay, right? So meta, and then yeah, right. And yeah, look, it just says, okay, on line 11 this has been defined, and this is the file name, blah 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 blah, and the namespace and everything, like so that's what it just says, like. So Clojure internally attaches a lot of meta so to almost every definition. So that's how it is, right? So I don't think it's to almost every definition. I think it attaches meta to every definition. So that's the thing, right? So yeah, look. Now let's see this one. Right. Next, I'm just having an interesting case, right? So okay, so I'll just put this. Okay, so So you have this def mylist, and we are calling this function with meta, right? Right. So what this with meta does is it does not attach metadata to my list. Instead, it attaches the secret meta to this list 1, 2, 3. Look, my list is a identifier. Like you can, okay, you can just see what definition is there. Okay, but this is the value. With meta attaches this metadata to the value, not to my list. Okay, like, yeah, let's visualize, right? So that like you just get it right. Okay, so you have got this. Okay, let me go to black. Okay, right. So you've just got this my list. Okay, so my list, it points to like okay, right. Let me uh, put this. So here it just points to a list like 1, 2, and 3, right? So yeah, this is the value stored in computer, and this points to this one. So if you just, oops, so if you just put like, okay, like this my list, and you'll be, yeah, getting this list 1 to 3, right? But this with meta, what it does is it attaches metadata, okay, like what metadata I'm just putting, okay, secret meta, right? So yeah, the secret meta, there is this secret meta, right? And let me just put this in green, and whenever metadata has been attached, like we are using a convention to put this as green dotted line, right? Aren't we? Right. So yeah. So this one attaches the metadata to this one, right? So now if I just call, okay, right? So this meta and all this, okay. Now we just call like meta, and then if I just call this my list, okay, so my list, okay, so and I just need to copy this, and multicolor editing is very tough. Okay, right, yeah, it's like putting multicolor diagram is tough. Okay, so if I just do this, it just means like, okay, like you're just referring to this one, right? So this becomes, okay, yeah, now it just becomes like this one, right? So this one, and yeah, right? So what is the meta of this one? It is secret meta. So that's what we get out of it. So okay, yeah, let me just yeah, like expand this diagram and put it like this one, right? So meta minus 10, this minus goes away. Now this entire big block. Okay, so right, comes over here. Oops, this entire big block. Okay, yeah, comes over here, and yeah. So and this metadata is the secret meta. So maybe I think I should download the diagram and just put it into the book, so that maybe I should do it for all sections. I don't know, like maybe it'll make more people understand Clojure better. Yeah. So anyway, let me just download it. Okay, so okay, right. Okay. So that's how it is. Okay. So like yeah. So now yeah, let me just execute this, right? Okay. So and then let me just put meta and then my list, and you'll just get the secret meta, right? So and this also looks cleaner. Okay. So that's how it is. But yeah, like this is a cumbersome way to set metadata, right? So uh okay, right. So even if it sets to value, I feel so it's a bit cumbersome. Right. So that's the thing. Right. Okay. Anyway, right. Okay. So now what? Right. Okay. So okay, we can also set metadata to functions. Okay, so I'm just setting metadata something true to this function, right? Okay, so and yeah, you can also do something like, okay, you can also substitute this with something true, like it's still going to be the same, right? True, right? It's still going to be the same, right? So, but yeah, let me just put the short form. Okay, so if I just call my function, it's just going to work normally. Like metadata doesn't affect with Clojure execution in any way, unless and until you program your Clojure in a way like it just takes metadata and looks at it and does something depending on it. Yeah. So, but now like yeah, I can just put like okay meta and then my function. Like it's just like any other definition. Yeah, something is true, and lots of things have been attached to it, right? So yeah. Okay, so that's how it is. And of course, like, okay, like, you have this thing called docstring. Uh, okay, so for functions, right? So, yeah. So this is also meta, right? So what really happens is like, okay, like, let me just put meta and then function with doc, and you just get a lot of stuff. But if you just look for what's the value for this doc, it just says okay, this is a function with docstring. So that's what it says over here, right? So now yeah, you can just get a doc out and yeah, do something with it, right? So look, I haven't given any practical examples of metadata, but yeah, I'm just telling because it's there in Clojure, right? So that's the thing, right? So yeah, and look, okay, so now I've got like this is another function with doc. Okay, so and over here I've just put it like this one, right? So I've just put it like in metadata as doc. So both are same, but yeah, like I like this one far better, right? So, but yeah, like yeah, you can also do it like this one. So okay, so yeah, this is a big thing. So maybe I'll just put the function name over here and yeah, it's just a big list, right? So doesn't matter if even if you put it in next line and all those things, right? So yeah. So now I can just put like, okay, like doc and then meta and then another function with doc and I'll get this one, right? Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. Of course, like you can assign a huge hash as metadata to a function. That is, oh yeah, function definition. Yeah, so you can do that. Okay, so, oops. Okay, so, and what to say, like if I just, okay, so you have got like B is 2 and then C is 3 and A is 1. Look, it doesn't mean Clojure never gives you guarantee like A will be at first, B will be at second, C will be at third, and all this stuff, right? So, yeah, you can't help, you can't ask for positional guarantees in what to say, like in maps. Okay, like you can ask, you can have, you do have positional guarantees in lists and vectors, so but not in maps. Okay, so in map, key and value could be anywhere. Right? So that's the thing. So that's it about metadata. Like yeah, like so hopefully like if you come across metadata in your Clojure code, maybe you'll feel more comfortable. So anyway, thanks for watching.